So I'm in the heart of Venice and I am about to get a personal tour of Steven Ehrlich's house. He's the most incredible architect. Follow me. Here we are.
Very good. Come on in.
Thank you so much for having us.
Oh, it's a pleasure.
Wonderful.
Greetings. Good to meet you.
Nice to see you. So look at this. Just as you come in, you see this incredible swimming pool.
Yes.
With a spa at the end. Was that hard to permit?
No, just part of the process.
Interesting.
It was no more difficult than just getting it all done. Part of the process.
What year did you do this house? I remember.
It would be about 2 years ago.
Wow.
Actually, yes. Amazing, huh?
I remember. Let's go in and check it out.
Thank you.
So when you were designing this house, what were the most important elements for you?
Well, of course, I wanted it to be a welcoming place for family and friends. That would be first and foremost.
Yes.
The heart and the hearth, if you will. But it had many different ideas of taking the whole property, which is not huge. It's 5,500 square feet.
Right.
And making it into a series of indoor spaces and outdoor rooms that interconnect. So, for example, if you come in here, you can see the connectivity to the outdoors. So that is a 16-foot square aperture.
Wow.
And I love apertures more than windows because apertures let in light. They let in lots of ample light on large walls that we can enjoy our art collection of our friends, Southern California artists.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So now, was this tree here when you...
That is a 100-year-old tree.
Wow.
The tree is here. And in fact, there's a roof overhang that is built around one of the trunks of the tree.
That's insane.
Yeah.
So in here, we're in the living room here.
Yes.
And a lot of architects do design their own furniture. Is that the same for you?
Well, that is true. So I designed this sofa that you're about to sit on, I think. And there you go. Excellent. And the coffee table is my design.
Wow.
And the dining room table and benches are also a design of mine, which I can explain further. But there's a little bit of history here because this couch and those two chairs are actually replicas of the original furniture that Rudolf Schindler designed in the King's Roadhouse. So there's kind of a paying homage to history and to the early, really important moments in modernism.
I was going to ask you, actually, who are your favorite architects?
Well, I have many, I have to say. But in terms of the California modernists, there's Neutra, there's Schindler, Ray Cappy, obviously Frank Gehry, I think, has influenced all of us in some ways, in many ways. But I also was greatly influenced by the greats like Louis Kahn, Frank Lloyd Wright, Mies van der Rohe. Those all have had big influences on me. And then another big influence on me is that I lived in Africa for 6 years, and I lived in courtyard houses in both Morocco and Nigeria.
Yeah.
And this idea of indoor-outdoor living kind of was infused in my psyche as a beautiful way to live. And then taking technology, the ability to take technology and make the barrier between indoors and outdoors disappear or evaporate. And just to kind of give you an idea that door slides away, but it can also become a cozy house at night.
So great. And I love how you really sort of have all your rooms, but without walls, but you've separated them with different shapes and sizes. So this is, in a way, in an English house, we would call it a snug. You know, like...
I don't know that's right. That's good. But it is kind of snug, yes.
And it feels like that, even though everything is all open because of the slightly lower ceiling than the rest of the house.
Yes, I do like playing off very intimate, cozy, low spaces to the larger, more ample and voluminous spaces. I like that very much. Of course, this is a get wet floor made out of concrete. So in the summer, our grandkid and his friends will just jump in the water and splash, and it doesn't hurt anything. It's fine.
I can imagine. Is it radiant floor?
Yes. Oh, that's another important component of the house. It's heated with radiant underfloor slab heating, and the house actually doesn't have air conditioning in it. It is air-cooled by natural ventilation. Now, we are lucky. We live, 1 kilometer from the ocean, so that makes it quite congenial.
And you have this lovely, welcoming hearth fireplace, which I presume you put on if you're having a party.
Yeah, maybe I'll put it on now. I love the dance of flame.
Do it. And then the other thing he's done with the kitchen is, again, it's with those slightly lower ceilings, so it also feels cozy, and I'm sure at parties everybody's around this.
People circle around, and actually one of the ideas, I'm very influenced by other cultures in my work. And for example, this table was influenced by Japanese seating pits, but I didn't want to put pit in the floor because I like the flexibility. But this furniture, you can sit this way or you can sit this way. So there's a lot of cultural information that has been reinterpreted for our lifestyle.
I love that.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right, we're going to put the fireplace on now, just for fun. You were saying that you had started life off, I think, in the Peace Corps, weren't you?
It's true, yes. I was assigned to be an architect working for the Moroccan government.
So cool.
In Marrakesh, Morocco.
Wow.
That was quite a beautiful assignment, actually.
And great taste in rugs.
Thank you. Those are Moroccan, or at least this one is. Yeah.
I love it. I love it. So what metal did you use here?
So that's a great question. So this is carbon steel, just raw steel.
Wow.
And one of the things that I actually really like and appreciate is I like not having coatings. I like the materials to represent themselves. So this steel has not rusted, but the steel outside has rusted, and it has its own patina. And if you look at the plaster of this ceiling, for example, it's actually not painted. It's troweled plaster with wax over it. In fact, if you look this way, you'll even get another view where you can see the hand of the craftsman having troweled it. And I'm very fond of that, to have the people who actually built the house that kind of have left their mark on the final architecture.
And I love also the way that you've done the lights. They're not spotlights, but they're lights within a square that you've created. It's stunning.
That's precisely it.
And then, of course, because you've got storage.
This was actually also very influenced by Japanese architecture, and it's called a tansu. And if we go around this way, so there's storage on that side, and there's display storage on this side. Well,
great.
So it's a stairway. It's a way of storing things, and like the craftsman furniture designer who built this tansu actually even wrote that inscription there, which is quite beautiful.
Ascension, be thine, my love. Love it. The interesting thing that you pointed out here, this is what all the young designers or youngish designers are doing now, is a very similar kind of feel to the walls. Kind of lime wash, plaid.
That's pretty much what that is.
And you did it 20 years ago.
Yes, exactly. Same idea, the hand of the craftsman. Again, very interested in selecting art. So all these pieces are actually by wonderful artists from Southern California. Not all of them, some of them are from New York as well. But the large walls really allow that to happen.
Incredible.
And part of the courtyard idea is, so there's three principal...
But let's not forget this incredible kitchen.
Kitchen is always important, right?
And you put your sink so that you look at your courtyard, hiding things. And your center, of course, it's got everything in it.
Yeah, it's got what you need. And then we have kind of really an industrial cooking center, if you will. It's just very basic, but industrial grade.
And these are magnets.
These are all magnets that are family photos that just go...
So good.
Isn't that fun? Yeah.
I love it.
And so there are three main courtyards. There's the entrance court with the pool. There's the tree court, which we've already seen. And this is really the family court. And the family court is another expression of livability, if you will, where we have the barbecue, which extends very graciously into the kitchen. Again, I love this idea of having double usage.
Yeah.
For example, this raised platform with my Moroccan banquette, if you will, is also a place to just sit. Sometimes we'll have a gathering of 20, 30 people, and there could be 10, 15 people just sitting here chatting, and it's super congenial. The other thing, now this is my man cave. My wife, Nancy Griffin, has her writing studio upstairs, but this is where I have my various goodies.
Stunning.
More art. It's very much another augmentation of art. And then I have my African gourd and basket collection over here.
Stunning.
Thank you.
Absolutely gorgeous.
Yeah, so these are all just artifacts I've collected along the way. And
love it. I love how all the stairs are either a feature or they're very light. You can see through them, so it doesn't feel heavy. This is very similar.
Yeah, that's very true. Transparent. And this is quite an interesting door. It's a sliding door that slides on top of the exterior wall, not into it. So this is our guest house.
Stunning.
And we have friends coming in from the East Coast. So we're going to have guests here soon. And they have a little kitchenette, bathroom. And it's actually a nice way to see kind of how the house works, in the sense that you can see how it layers back from the street. So it's not one big wall of a house. It's layered. It has outdoor decks. That's our bedroom up there with our outdoor terrace.
It's just gorgeous. I love it.
Thank you.
And I love your furniture as well, because everything you've picked is has an ethnic feel.
This is earthy.
Yes, earthy. I love that.
Mm-hmm. What we have to do is we have to go to one of my favorite spots in the house.
Yes.
So we will go up the Tansu stair. And now we are standing on glass being held up by these cables. So the juxtaposition of very technical and modern played off against a very primal concrete wall is a conversation that I really like.
Yeah.
That I find fascinating.
It does feel energetically, I'm going to sound like a hippie now, but energetically, it just feels so good in this house.
Thank you. Well, that's the idea. Calm.
I love it. And then you've got lights up here.
This is lit, exactly. And this is the same material that I use on the exterior perimeter fence that when you're shooting past the pool.
How long did it take you to?
It took probably a year to design it and get it through the permit process.
Yeah.
More or less, maybe a little longer. And then maybe a year and a half to build it. Something like that. Yeah, so 2.5 years.
Yeah. Probably longer. It would take longer now, I would think.
Maybe a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's always challenges, but
get through it.
We get through it. It's part of our job. And to do what you have to do. And then upstairs is the master bedroom, and we have 2 little pods here because the kids were grown up at the time that this house was built. So these are, we don't quite call them bedrooms, but they are bedrooms, but they're mini bedrooms. They have their own closet. So you can be quite private.
So nice.
Or like a shoji screen, this can open and you can be connected. So again, there's that ability to have a conversation with space. You're interacting always different layers of space, different views. In fact, I love this view from here. There you go. See, here we are floating.
Oh, it's so great.
Yeah. So we do love being here. And one of the interesting details, people often ask about the concrete floor because it's this beautiful, rich kind of rust color. And there's a reason for that. When the concrete was being poured, on the very day of the concrete pour, we took iron oxide, which is a powder, and we threw it into the concrete, which absorbed it, and it turned it this chocolate brown.
Stunning.
Which is kind of cool. Yeah, we love that.
Thank you so much for showing me the house. It's really incredible. And when you work for other people, do you get to be this creative, or doing it for yourself is the most creative?
You know what? I really enjoy the conversation and the dialogue with our clients. And the architecture that we do in our practice is not a brand. It's not something that is always the same. There are obviously modern elements in all the work, but we're very much trying to express the personality of the owner, and that's what we're about.
Wonderful. So if you were to sum up your personality in this house, what would you say?
Multicultural, modern, great gathering place, warmth, hearts, love.
Beautiful. And if you want more of these wonderful tours, click and subscribe here.